All right. Good morning, folks. Man, what a lovely day to work on a truck today. Raining, impending snowstorm here in eastern North Carolina, and we're working on seafood trucks. Antique seafood trucks at that. But that's all right. That's what I do. Happy to do it. If it weren't for old, wore-out trucks, I'd probably be a lot skinnier and put a damper on my kids' eating habit. Well, anyway, what we got here is this tag axle on this truck. Single axle truck with this tag axle here. And the complaint was the axle wouldn't go down. It's operated by air. The complaint was it wouldn't go down. So that usually indicates, first thing is a leak. And sure enough, what we got here, let me get my light going. That blinded me, that's good. All right. All right, phew. Okay, get all up in here. So this thing's old and nasty, and that's all right, because I'm old and nasty too. All right, so what I've done here is flip the switch and put this axle down for use. And you know, when you flip the switch, and I can't really show you now because in diagnosing it, I bypass the switch, but or bypass the leak. But when you go and engage an air operated apparatus or device, and you hear what sounds like a leak, a lot of times what you're hearing is the air flow. So you go up in the cab, flip the switch on, and it sounds like a leak right there, but you're not really hearing a leak. You're hearing the flow of air, and which indicates a leak somewhere. Okay, if that makes sense. It's kind of like when you turn the faucet on for the garden hose and you stay right there by the hose, by the faucet while the hose is running, you can hear water flowing. And that's kind of like, and a lot of people mistake that, like if it's in the dash, they say, oh, I got a leak in my dash, I can hear it. Well, usually that's not the case. They hear airflow flowing through the hoses and fittings and valve, which is noisy. And that's but that's what I heard on this. And so I come back here, traced it back, and it was kind of a faint leak. You really couldn't hear it. But this bag here, so you got these air springs or air bags, 4 of them on this one. And the way this one works is it's got 4 air bags, 1, 2, 2 over here, 3, 4. And on this one, what retracts it is these leaf springs. So these leaf springs aren't, the only purpose that these springs serve is to keep, when you deflate the bags, they lift it. So that's the purpose, is to keep this thing off the ground until air is applied. So anyway, so you got 4 bags holding pressure down to the ground. Anyway, you could hear airflow, and at the bags would not inflate at all. So anyway, I stuck my ear to it, and this one here, and like I said, you're hearing flowing, but it's hard to really find a leak because everything's just flowing out. But somewhere in this bag, and you can see, somewhere on this bag is a hole, but it doesn't really matter, it's leaking. What I did to get a little room to work is I bypassed it here. I have the switch still flipped so that and the way this works is they just all kind of in series. One line comes down to a what's called a quick release valve, and then goes out, and this is just teed here to these bags. It ends there with that one, but here you got a T, and above me there's a T. I can't really get to it because there's a frame member here. But anyway, so I bypass this suspicious bag, and sure enough, everything airs up and it's fine now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this bag off, leave everything energized, because without this system being activated, then this thing is real tight and you can hardly work. It's real smashed up. You know, it's probably a third of that size. It just goes right on down. Anyway, I'm gonna get situated here and get this airbag out and get some numbers off it and whatnot. Okay, stand by. Okay, so the way this works is they're pretty easy to do if you've never changed one. They're all pretty much the same. So this is being held on by 3/8 bolt right there. And then there should be one over here, just like it somewhere. I ain't got my light, but and it's raining and it's hard to see, so I don't know. But there's a bolt just like it. And then there is that big nut there has the supply fitting on it. And then opposite of that, over, let's see, here, there's another 3/8 bolt. So just get all those off and slip the bag right out. So, all right, so the first thing we want to do on this repair is we want to spray some penetrant in any exposed threads, okay? Let it soak a minute while you're unhooking other stuff. And you want to, you know, I see guys in videos doing this sort of weird thing where they spray the heads of bolts. I see that a lot, and I just kind of shake my head. Spraying the heads of bolts with penetrant doesn't help anything. It's really just wasting the penetrant. You really need to get the exposed threads, one, so it creeps down in there. You know, it's going to work its way down theoretically. And two, you know, to break anything, any rust, you know, that thing is seized to, the nut seized to the bolt, to the threads. So you want that to creep down in there, and two, you want it to lubricate as once it does start moving. It acts as a lubricant, so it's penetrant and a lubricant for coming off. So I see guys spraying heads of bolts, and I'm like, what? And well, you see this in videos, and it's like, what is that? That doesn't do anything. Well, anyway, all right. So get this fancy pipe wrench going here. What I really want to do is get this fitting off of here, but all right, that's not quite coming out like I want it to, so I'm just gonna wait on that. And this is 1 1/8", and I forgot my 1 1/8", so there we go. And it looks like I could probably just loosen this anyway, because there's a slot right here. We'll try that. Okay. One, two, one more over here. 3 bolts, and this baby is about to be history. So this, buddy, I've seen it a lot harder than that to get these things out. So at least one thing's going good today, in spite of the rain and ugly weather and impending snow and whatever. So hopefully we'll take this to the parts people and hopefully get them to get us, I would say 3. There's one that looks like it's been replaced fairly recently, but we'll see what they want. All right, have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching.